During a bull market, not a day goes by where there isn't some big news in one of the sectors of cryptocurrency. And of course, today is no different. It looks like layer 2s are really starting to pump. And on top of that, we have things like PancakeSwap getting to new all-time highs. And of course, the long-awaited Solana summer or Sol season is coming up. So that's what we're going to dive into in today's video. We're going to cover the news and the charts. Stick around for that all the way to the end, and I'll have some property news updates as well. Just some minor stuff to keep track of the overall markets. If you love the sound of that, let me know. Hit that like button down below if you want to see more of this content. Also, consider hitting the subscribe button down below, bell notification icon, so you can be updated with the time-sensitive content. Let's dive in. Taking a quick look at the 200-week moving average for Bitcoin. Now we're at this kind of light greeny yellow color. You guys can decide what color you think that is. But what I'm looking at here is that we haven't ever got to this color and then fallen back into the dark blues before we reach a red peak. So you can see here we're in this sort of greeny yellowy color, and the last time we had that was, well, back in 2017 as well. So we've seen it before the peak, and then you see it just slightly after the peak as we're coming down, but we don't see this in a bull market drop all the way back into the blue. So we're definitely, in my opinion, long-term bull market. That's been my position this entire time since we broke out of the triple top back in mid to late last year. And you can see further back, just no signs of this falling back down. In terms of a daily chart, we're going to have a look at that. But of course, daily is a different story compared to the macro time frame, the big picture stuff. Let's have a look at CoinMarketCap. We are again at $2.1 trillion market cap. Now, Bitcoin has continued to lose its dominance, which is something that we're all aware of by now. Bitcoin has been dropping, and it looks like some of the money is just flowing into the alts. Doesn't look like too much is actually leaving the space. Well, in fact, probably none of it, because the market cap continues to stay above 2 trillion and sit at all-time highs. The big player here is Ethereum, 15%. It is coming for Bitcoin. You know, if you follow me on Twitter, I am very bullish on ETH. At the end of the day, everything is going to go up in a bull market, so we just got to pick our horses and stick to them. Stay on the horse. That's all you got to do in a bull market. Everyone is a winner. Speaking of everyone is a winner, I have a little Twitter post here. This is from my greatest economist you could ever follow, Phil Anderson. Juggling homework, friends, and his personal YouTube channel, 12-year-old Kwon Jun is often too busy to check his investments. 42% up since he began. All right, so essentially this is pretty much what happens in bull markets, and everyone becomes an absolute genius trader. You'd see that online. Maybe your friends are all making money, but you're not. What the hell's going wrong with me? Anyway, if you could just hold the horse and hang on there, should be doing pretty well. Great second half on the way. We'll all think we're genius traders. Far cry from the dark days of 2011, 2012. Now, if you had interest in finance in 2011, 2012, it was very similar to being in the crypto market around 2019, early 2019 when the market was dead. It was over. Just remember these times. Stick with the market, learn how the emotions work, learn how the cycles work, and you will see it repeat, and you will become wiser and richer for the experience. Thank you to the guys that dropped in all of those amazing questions for the Ecomi interview I had today with Dan, the CEO. They were fantastic. That interview will be coming out shortly on the channel. So it's the interview, as I said here, with Ecomi. I'll hopefully do an update in the coming months after some of the big announcements are released in this quarter, sometime during May, June. So stick around the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, join me on Twitter so that you get the update when that video is released. Coinbase now lets US users pay for cryptocurrency through a PayPal account. Visa CEO says payments giant is moving into crypto in a very big way. PayPal's crypto firm Paxos raises 300 million, plans to add major clients. Commerce Bank, Deutsches Börse, sorry I'm destroying that, team up for tokenized real estate and art marketplace. MasterCard highlights applications beyond payments for central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Lots of big news. Coinbase, Visa, they're all so bullish on cryptocurrency at the moment. Just wait until we get some sort of massive peak. I think that's probably going to come later this year, maybe early next year. It's not going to be exactly the same like 2017, but this big news is still coming, and then as we start to die off, we'll see what happens from that point. But very bullish this stage of the cycle. But as we can see here in the dailies, not as bullish. Fear and greed at 51, so just at neutral now. Not a bad thing. We were greedy last week and extreme greed last month, but it's nice that this has cooled off. Bitcoin is beginning to find its range again, and some of the money is flowing into the alts, of course, especially in Ethereum's case. Major investment bank JP Morgan expressed their belief that Ethereum is going to keep outperforming the world's #1 crypto, the backbone of the crypto native economy, and functions more as a medium of exchange. So that's what they see ETH as. This is a major difference from Bitcoin, which is more of a crypto commodity than currency. So ETH is being used, of course, and people need to hold ETH in order to do certain things on the environment, in the ecosystem. Whereas for Bitcoin, it's purely just being held. We don't really need to use it for that much when compared to ETH. So two very different plays, both having fantastic use cases and increasing in value a hell of a lot. In either case, per Business Insider, citing the bank's notes, analysts at the bank said that the trend of the world's second crypto outperforming BTC can continue as the competition in the crypto market heats up. And so we've got the 3 points here, but we already know Ethereum is going gangbusters. Now to Ripple. Ripple's thinking, or at least talking about listing, just like Coinbase has. Some of the notes here: Japanese financial giant and long-term Ripple partner SBI has alleged that Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen is eyeing a Coinbase-style stock market listing and is already looking beyond its current legal struggles with the American SEC. So they've got a bright-looking future for themselves, at least that's what they believe. I think they're going to get through this thing. It was pretty harsh at the beginning. And of course, anything, when you look at the XRP price, when you compare that with the BTC pairing, it's generally up and down. But in this case, we're talking about Ripple, the company now, who are looking to list on the stock market. Now, we've seen Coinbase list as well. That had huge spike at the beginning, listed around $320 or $360, spiked into the $400 and has since fallen away to having a low at around $280 the last time I checked that. We'll continue to cover Coinbase as well. It's a good one to keep up with, and I think it's going to follow the cryptocurrency market. Should the cryptocurrency market fall, I would suspect the Coinbase price would fall as well. So investing in both of these things is really leveraging your portfolio in one direction, and that direction is all cryptocurrency. So you're going to make the massive gains as crypto goes up, and you're going to make the massive dumps, the massive losses as crypto goes down. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about investing in crypto companies as well as cryptocurrency. You're exposed to the same markets. After the current lawsuit, Ripple will go public. The current currency wants to do that. Chris wants to do that. That's said by the Japanese financial giant SBI. 3.6 billion in Bitcoin options expire Friday. Here's what that means. The expiries could help budge the price of Bitcoin upwards. I think this is going to be some short-term movements. I don't think it's going to play too much into the space of the Bitcoin price. We're going to check out the chart. This is the Fed talking about cryptocurrency, and the main comments I wanted to look at here were some of the asset prices are high. You're seeing things in the capital markets that are a bit frothy, said by Jerome Powell here. Goes on to say, that's a fact. I won't say it has nothing to do with monetary policy, but it also has a tremendous amount to do with vaccination and reopening of the economy. So, well, I think most people are looking at it for this, or at least investors are, and I think the general population is thinking that it has to do with this. So he's trying to please both people here, possibly coming around to saying, well, I think inflation is getting a little bit out of control and they're really trying to cover that up. I'll leave that to future articles, but that's basically what we're speculating on, which is why we're investing into cryptocurrencies. VeChain, because you guys never say I talk about VeChain. VeChain Foundation launches 1 million grant to boost VeChain NFT ecosystem. So they're trying to get on board with the NFTs as well. Looking good for VeChain. I'll look at those in the charts in future videos. I look at the ratio gang because I'm an Ethereum bull. $2,774 for ETH. Currently at 31.62% of Bitcoin's market cap. We want to get to halfway of Bitcoin's market cap. We're looking for a 0.0808 of the ETH BTC pair. We're currently at 0.051, call it 1. 0.051 511. So we're getting there, slowly climbing up and getting closer to that Bitcoin market cap, where potentially we'll flip it this cycle. Something controversial there for you guys. All right, let's move on to the charts. BTC USD 1 day. This is what we've been looking at forever. We're always looking at the Bitcoin chart. Now we had that drop down to 47,000, spot on. I was looking for a buy between that 40, I said around 46. I'm not sure we're out of the woodworks just yet. We're still trending in this range. Of course, this is just a potential consolidation period. What I'm looking for, as I've said in previous videos, is a break of this bar here. That was the big dump day. That's the big scare day. And so if the market can recover after the big scare day, then it looks like the market sentiment has changed. We have shifted back into the bullish stage. Some people will be looking at around a $60,000 move above that, and this top of the bar is 60,400, so call it 60,500 to get a clear break there with some closes. Essentially, there is also a resistance level that we are currently seeing here at around 56,000. So you have some lows that we put in April, early April, and now we've seen the previous highs just here and the current high just 2 days ago as well. So if we can break above that, then that's the first leg up to get towards that 60,000 resistance point before we can then obviously move to all-time highs. Now from here, if we don't do that, I think we'll probably just sort of trade around in this range. You guys know that I have been looking at this 11 days down, which has never been seen in Bitcoin's history as far back as I looked around 5 years ago. And so from here, I would find it interesting, strange, if we were just to shoot straight up past the all-time high. It doesn't really make sense after 11 days down, which is why we're starting to put in some swings. And this swing actually looks positive. It doesn't look ridiculous like a big spike out and then a dump. It's very, it's got some symmetry to it in terms of a swing, and that's what we want to see. So let's grab our drawing brush, and from this point, I think we'll probably, we're at this point here, I think we might come back and test our 50% zone. And that's why we have 56,000 on the chart. It's our micro 50% zone. Break through that, fantastic. If not, we test it and fall back under. Then I think we'll come back and test somewhere in this region here, around that 48 to around, sort of 51,000. Now, that doesn't hold. Obviously, we need to then retest the 47,000 and come further down. This, like I said, long term is bullish for me, but retesting any of these lows is going to be more bullishness for Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency space, because we can really put it to bed and say the low is in that 40-something thousand dollar range, and then we find some good strength with good volume and we get to push higher once again. That's still bullish if we head down. To me, it's even more bullish, and if you've been watching the channel for some time, you know that's the reason for it, why I think like that. Now, we've also got the 20-week moving average. It's getting closer to the market, so maybe we do end up getting to that area there and the market comes up. Now, of course, it's not a straight line, it's just I'm showing you here. And then that's a nice entry level. Should we get between the 40 and 45,000, I can put some fresh money in. Otherwise, my money is going with ETH when we get pullbacks. All right, onto the dominance chart, 49.2. Just a quick look at that. It's the same thing day after day. It has been down for a month now. Down, 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 down. The Coles ad for you guys in Australia. Let's have a look at Cake, because I can see it right here. It is shooting up. So I want to talk about these in just a sec. These are the markets which are just blowing up, right? They're surging. Now I'll look at Holo Token, or HOT, so Holochain, and a couple of others. I think Ren I've got there as well, just as an example of what happens when these markets shoot up to the moon and then what to expect next. So this is Holochain, and we can see that it has shot to the moon already, and from that point it has dumped about 70% against Ethereum. This is the HOT ETH pairing, and so the low is at around 73%, currently sitting somewhere around 60 odd percent drop in ETH. So if you happen to sell out here and sell it into ETH, you'll be doing quite well. That's a pretty good move and saved yourself a hell of a lot of ETH. And basically after these pumps, this is generally what happens, especially when they go up really, really fast and really, really hard, like Holo did. HOT USDT, there's also a similar sort of pattern here, another big fall found a little bit of support on this old resistance level. See how spot on that is? That's why these support resistance levels work so well. And from this point, this is kind of what I've seen in the past. This is like a sucker's rally. And it's very much noted that if you get a bounce from here and we don't get a follow through, then this is definitely a sucker's rally, and we'll probably just start to base out again and consolidate in this region. If not, break this level and then consolidate back through those regions there. Bit off angle, but you get the point through there. So could it come back into here to consolidate? That's all sort of normal when it comes to these charts. So just pay attention to that. And if these are charts that are on your watch list, I suggest you do that. There's TradingView link in the description down below, so you can follow along with your own charts and put your alerts on the market, which I'll do here just to show you. That's that. And if we break above this current high level, I'll come back and check the chart. And from that, you can then start to place your orders to get good buy entries rather than FOMOing in as the market shoots up. And when it shoots up, it doesn't last very long. It's a few days, probably a couple of weeks, and that's all gone. So really keep that in mind when you're looking next. Let's have a look at some of the stuff that's consolidating, and then we'll finish off with ETH. I'll take a look at GRT and TBK. GRT is in this pattern of consolidating. See, it's starting to drop. I've moved the accumulation zone a little further down just because there's some support levels back here. Before we had it in this level, and that's a double top. Has that double top finished playing out? We'll get our trend-based fib, top to low to top, and I'm looking for about 150% fall. 100% it's hit and it's bounced back, so that's normal as well. But 150% brings us down to these lows, which means probably can draw this box just down a little bit further. And so that zone is probably going to be a good area. Even if it drops a little bit below it, I think it's going to come back into this region quite quickly. And I'll show you that on TVK, because TVK has done something similar where people were freaking the hell out that it fell, and now it's back into the zone. This is just what happens with small caps. It's another good play. This was probably going to fall out again. Look at the volume on these two bars, which were the tops. I suspect we've hit resistance here, and now we can reassess the situation. So I suspect we're going to fall back out and come back to these lower levels in the 30s or 40-cent region. So the last thing I want to look at is ETH BTC pair is still sitting at the 5% level. Fantastic for us. Good volume. We will continue to track this. I'll do some update videos specifically on Ethereum and say Bitcoin as well. You can check those out on the channel. I've got specific videos on time counts, price targets. Go and check those out. I'll show that on the channel in just a moment. ETH USD, same deal. We have the next targets up, which are around the 3,500. But of course, we've got to get through the 2,800 first, and of course 3,000. But I've just moved the fib up to this next level to see what our targets would be. But I really feel more comfortable having this fib at this level, and then we're heading towards 3,000 because we sat on those old highs, and then the level after that 3,500. So we're still on our way to our targets after the breakout, after the reaccumulation, above the breakout, and we're on our way again. But I don't think this is going to happen too fast, or at least I'm preparing for it not to be too fast. All right, last piece here, Aussie news, property news, and this is worldwide as well. The property markets are going crazy, and they are not slowing down until we get to our peak of around 2026. If you want to know more about this in a lot more detail, I have interviews on the channel with Kathy Stacey she's a co-founder of Phil Anderson's business, which is Property Share Market Economics. We go into a lot more detail about what this cycle means and what's going on. Property prices last month, in just 1 month, home values have surged 2%. Now that doesn't sound like much for people in cryptocurrency, but remember, property is leveraged up a hell of a lot. Say you're putting in 10%, you got a $500,000 property, you put 50 grand in, your leverage, what is that? Something like 10 times. So you got 50 grand in, or at least you're going to make the 2% on the 500,000. So 2% on that's 10 grand. You made 10 grand off your 50 grand. So that's the kind of returns looking at here with property, even though the percentages look quite small. So this stuff is going crazy, and just wait till the cycle gets frenetic at the peak. We are coming into the peak. The next 5 years are going to be wild in the land market. Go to this playlist here so you guys can get updated with wallets and 1 to 100,000. I don't tell you exactly what to buy. That's what I do on the channel, is around how to question yourself and create a plan based on the answers that you come up with, because everyone's plan is different. So if I can give you a guidebook on how to do that, then at least you can continue to reassess that guidebook for yourself if things change, if your situation changes. So check out these videos if you want to know more about SMSFs, your wallets, buying cryptocurrency on exchanges, exit plans, what to do with $1,000. There's a lot of stuff on there. So check out this playlist here. While you're there, hit the subscribe button, bell notification icon, probably somewhere up here. There you go. Up there. Join SwiftX if you want to be trading in Australia, and of course Binance. There's a link to all of those in the description down below. Join me on Twitter for news updates, as you've just seen. I do a lot of stuff on Twitter now, and of course Q&A on Instagram. Thank you once again, guys. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you again. I've got lots of the interviews coming up with Ecomi, one with the crypto hedge fund Invictus. That they did quite well this quarter, so that is also coming up. Plus, the video is finally coming on Solana. And also got a big one coming up in May for a bit of a trading series with Blockfolio. So that's coming up. Stick around for that. See you guys on the weekend. Until next time, have more fun to get more done.